wonderful ways to wander into a film because we were working together already. We had met. I live in Berkeley. He lives in Berkeley, and we started making these short videos, these 2 to 3 minute videos that that came out of my desire to know this stuff. I'm not an economist, and I just wasn't understanding the system that around me, and I thought that Bob was speaking to it most clearly. So I asked him to speak on camera, and I put these videos up on the internet, just on my Facebook page, and it started to get like hundreds and thousands of views of these videos. And I sort of had this feeling that there were other people like me who needed this stuff explained to them. Not necessarily from a, in my mind, of a filter of left, right, or liberal or conservative, but more from just giving people information so that they could sort of find their own way into a topic. And then he was writing a book at that time called Aftershock. And it was, all of my friends were talking about how we were ever going to get ahead, and we were struggling ourselves. And it was after the crash of 2008. And I felt like the more news I took in, the less I sort of knew, or the less I could sort of understand the story of what was going on. And that book sort of put it most clearly for me. And I sort of thought maybe this should be a movie, basically. And I don't know if he knew what he was getting into until well into the process, to be honest with you. But we started just by turning on the camera, essentially, and then the movie sort of grew and developed pretty organically. But it really came from this urge, you know, to communicate and to understand something that I didn't think anybody else was saying.
Yes. Can I use your microphone? Check it.
Sure.
I just wanted to say that I think the signal of a really good documentary is when the whole audience wants to talk about the issues and not the film, although the film created the environment for one to talk about it. But the question I had is that this film really makes me think about the successful anti-poverty programs in Latin America, the growing economies and conditional cash transfers there. And I'm wondering if you think that that has something to teach to the attenuation of inequality in the United States.
Yes.
What was your experience with Kickstarter?
Oh yeah, well that was. I'll try and answer this one. It was awesome. The question is, how was our experience with Kickstarter? And I got to be honest, we were hesitant to do it because it just was daunting, and you're afraid it's not going to work out. But I can't tell you how heartening it was to see people putting in a few bucks or whatever they could kind of to contribute to making a film like this. It felt so in line with the spirit of the film, like kind of what we were after, that I know we were all monitoring it, you know, like sort of like, oh, somebody else, you know, like, and it was, and it felt sort of, it gave us hope in a number of different ways. We felt like we were part of a community who cared about this stuff, and it made us feel connected to people. And it was incredibly important to get the money for a film like this to get us, you know, to the next stage or whatever.
We have some backers in the audience. Some people came up to me.
Oh wow! So if you helped us out on